What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy D Free. I'm back with another sports talk video. Make sure y'all smash the like button, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Well, it looks like we got a showdown. Oscar De La Hoya versus Dana White and Turkey. We know that they were supposed to be trying to negotiate the Ryan Garcia-Conor Benn fight for September 12th. Well, Oscar just filed a cease and desist order against Dana White and Paramount, saying that they interfering with the match, trying to go behind Oscar's back and make this fight on Paramount. And this fight is supposed to be on Dazn. Oscar De La Hoya saying Ryan Garcia is promoted by him and he's supposed to be fighting on Dazn. So this is something that we've been seeing Dana White and Turkey have been doing quite frequently. They going behind the promoter's back, trying to make fights with these fighters and trying to leave the promoters out of the loop. And Dana White and Turkey, they're doing some things that a lot of promoters are not happy with. And we know that it's a war going on between Zuffa boxing and the traditional boxing. Dana White have came out and made it be known that he's not working, or he won't recognize any of the sanctioning bodies. He's only going to recognize the Zuffa belt and the Ring Magazine belt. And so that's caused a lot of issues with making these matchups, because there's some fighters that's signed with Zuffa that wants to fight some of the guys that's still signed to the traditional boxing, and it's kind of throwing a monkey wrench in these matchups, because some of these guys are champions and the sanctioning bodies are not allowing those belts to go over to Zuffa. We done seen a couple of guys who were champions that end up getting stripped, whether they didn't have the weight class over at Zuffa, or those guys chose to fight for the Zuffa belt instead of fighting for the actual championship belt. We've seen that happen with Ja Obertai. They gave him a option whether to fight for the IBF title or to fight for the Zuffa title. He chose to fight for the Zuffa title, so he was stripped. So it's a lot of back and forth between the sanctioning body, Dana White, and Zuffa boxing. The WBO and the IBF, we know later on this year, they're supposed to be having a convention trying to figure out how they're going to deal with Zuffa boxing. And right now we're starting to see a lot of things come up. And we know that Ja Obertai was supposed to be having a fight with the WBC Cruiserweight champion. And David Benavidez ended up petitioning for that belt. So now Noel is fighting David Benavidez for a unification match. So Dana White and Turkey, for some strange reason, they don't want to seem to work with the promoters. They don't want to work with the sanctioning bodies. And they're trying to figure out why everybody is having a hard time dealing with Zuffa, or why they don't want to deal with Zuffa. And it's because of these underhanded techniques that they're going about doing things. They snatching fighters from promoters. They trying to make matches behind promoters' backs and leave the promoters out of the loop, because we all know that these promoters are invested in these fighters. And when these fighters have fights, the promoter gets paid. That's how the promoter make their money, is by these fighters fighting. So when these fighters go to another company and fight and they don't know about it, they're leaving the promoter out of the loop, which caused for Oscar De La Hoya to file the cease and desist order. And now we know that Dazn is backing Oscar De La Hoya, because they also joined in on the order, and they issued their own as well. So we have Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions and Dazn filing a cease and desist order. So I don't know if this fight is going to be made. It was supposed to be rumored to be made somewhere around September 12th. but it doesn't seem like that fight is going to happen. Now, I can't say that it's Oscar that don't want the fight to happen, because he just don't want them to make the fight without him being involved in the fight, because that is his fighter. It seems like Turkey and Dana White wants to make the fight with Ryan Garcia and not deal with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is saying, no, you have to deal with me. That's my fighter. And we're going to have this fight on Dazn. It could be a ring card fight, but it won't be a Zuffa fight. So I don't know if this fight is ever going to be made. It doesn't look like it's going to be made, because Dana White seemed like he doesn't want to deal with Oscar. We know that they have some issues in the past, and I mean, we got to see what happens. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation, because it's starting to get a little heated between Zuffa boxing and the sanctioning bodies and these promoters and the traditional boxing. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy D Free. We're going to find out what happens with this fight. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for Ryan and Conor Ben. And I'll be back with another one. Peace.